Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of What's Driving Token Prices. I'm your host, Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. For those of you joining us for the first time, I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and market events that act as catalysts for price change. Based on our research and market events over the past week, we wanted to share with you some notable token price movements and what we think drove these moves. As a reminder, before we get started, guys, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. All right, everyone, diving right in this week, we had another interesting one. First up, we are going to talk about CoinFlex. So CoinFlex is a centralized exchange. This last week, it was believed that it's kind of one of the latest to be hit in the crypto unwind. They announced last week that they'd be pausing withdrawals, and as a user, reportedly not Three Arrows Capital, had failed to top up margin in their account, resulting in negative equity. In response, and negative equity, the total amount of negative equity owed by this user is $47 million. So in response, CoinFlex announced that it would issue a token, and just to note, it already has an exchange token called Flex, as you can see right here, that they're calling the Recovery Value USD, or RVUSD. So this RVUSD will offer a 20% APR, and they'll raise $47 million to basically cover that shortfall for them. The thought is if the user does not repay the liabilities within 15 months, CoinFlex will repay the RVUSD tokens with USDC off their balance sheet, or Flex tokens. Holders will get to kind of choose or mix and match. So we're not really sure how this will play out. It's unclear how CoinFlex will generate the 20% APR and whether anyone will purchase the RVUSD token. That hasn't gone up for sale yet, but we will keep you posted. Meanwhile, there are rumors floating online about who that potential user is. I will not confirm or deny, but you can do a little quick search on Twitter and check it out. As a result, CoinFlex's token is down 83% this week. All right, next up we have Solana, which is pretty much flat on the week, but L1 protocol Solana debuted their mobile phone through the Solana mobile division last week. And I know what a lot of people here are thinking, do we really need a crypto phone? This has been tried before. This may be different. We're going to see. So the phone, it's called Saga. It'll be an Android phone for Web3 integrated with the Solana network. And the idea is it'll make it easier for people to manage tokens and NFTs. People can pre-order the phone right now. It's only a $100 deposit. The phone is going to cost $1,000, so pretty much on par with iPhones these days. The launch also introduced the Solana mobile stack, which is a framework for Android that allows developers to create rich mobile experiences for wallets and apps on Solana and create a secure element for private key management. AKA they just created, App Store for Solana apps on Solana mobile. So this is pretty cool. There's a lot of initiatives like this that can really drive adoption for the mainstream crowd. I think anybody who spends a lot of time in digital assets can agree that it's not mobile friendly and it's really hard to do anything that not right on your computer. So this could really be something to drive adoption, especially if Solana is looking to do more in games, NFTs, even DeFi or payments. There's just a lot more opportunities when you can have like a mobile first experience. So with this announcement, Solana, like I said, is flat on the week. All right, cool. So this is actually 2 for 1, but we only got one logo, which is fine. So Axie Infinity and the Ronin bridge, or the Ronin token. So yesterday, Ronin, which is Axie Infinity's L2 bridge, and reminder for those who are new, Axie Infinity is one of the first play-to-earn games. They're pretty big. Basically, the bridge, which it has been frozen for the last 3 months following a hack by North Korean group Lazarus, was restarted and went back online. So the exploit which happened in March was for $625 million of user funds, which were drained from the bridge. The bridge relaunched yesterday, which was great. But also Axie announced that they were going to start reimbursing victims of the Ronin hack. However, the amount now that they're going to be reimbursing victims for is only worth $230 million. based on lower asset prices versus 3 months ago. This represents a 63% decline in user funds. So despite this, Axie ended the week up positive about 4% and Ronin up about 25%. All right, last here we have MakerDAO. So MakerDAO is a decentralized stablecoin issuer. They've been around for a few years now and been fairly resilient as a project. They announced last week that they were going to be performing a $3 million buyback of the governance token MKR using their stablecoin DAI. Despite the small buyback relative to the market cap, just to give you an idea, Maker's market cap is like around 900 million. And so that's like barely less than 1%. The market received the news pretty favorably. Maker did trade up initially. In addition, however, to this, a governance vote to institute an oversight core unit. So basically, they were trying to like put in an executive board for Maker governance was rejected. So basically, Maker has a lot of different kind of core divisions within its potential like business scope. And since it is a very decentralized project, the Maker Foundation has been dissolved officially. They were the first trying to pioneer decentralized governance. A lot of people were supportive of putting a board into place to have kind of united oversight of all these different areas and agendas. However, like I said, the vote was unfortunately rejected. It is believed that the bulk of the rejection vote came from the now defunct Maker Foundation, which believes makers should value decentralization above efficiency. So we'll continue to see how this plays out. I think, Maker is showing a really interesting test case in decentralized governance, and that, they've done some really evolutionary things with, introducing delegation, trying to make everything kind of go through governance. And I guess we're going to have to, wait on this one and see. It seems that they're working out the rest of the bugs maybe for every other DAO out there. So with all this, Maker ended the week up 1.8%. All right, everyone, that's all I have for you this week. Thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed our insights. We're going to be taking a 2-week hiatus, so please join me again here on July 20th at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.